Which one's better for your landscaping business? Facebook ads or Google local service ads? In this video, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of each platform and which one's right for you and your unique situation. What's going on, you guys? This is Matt Thibeau here with Savant Marketing Agency. And in this video, we're going to be laying out some of the pros and cons of these two different platforms so that by the end of this video, you're going to have a really accurate understanding of which one would make the most sense for your current situation and how you can take the most advantage of these platforms so you can grow your business. You know, the truth is that over the course of many years now, Google and Facebook have made lots of changes to their platform, and with the introduction of AI and how this is playing out, there's been a lot of changes recently, and what has worked in the past hasn't worked now and isn't going to work in the future. And so a lot of things are changing. And so in this video, I'm going to give you a really powerful, accurate understanding of where things sit basically today in 2025 as I'm recording this video. Now, I'm going to be going through some of these pros and cons, but before we do that, I kind of want to give you a little bit of a lay of the land of the difference between Facebook and Google so that you can understand the nature between these two platforms. Anytime that I'm talking about Facebook versus Google, I like to use an analogy called push versus pull marketing. What do I mean by that? Well, I would say that Facebook is push marketing. What that means is that people on Facebook haven't necessarily asked to see our ads on Facebook. We're essentially just taking an ad and then targeting them based off their interests and then putting it in front of them because we think that they're going to respond to it and want to see it. Whereas on Google, we are actually pulling them into our funnel by paying for ads so that when they type in the word best landscaper near me, you're one of the first that pop up so they can click that and be able to contact you, right? And just think about the difference of that process, right? I call Facebook push marketing, but for Google, I call it pull marketing because we're pulling them in, right? So on one hand, we're kind of have this interruptive process of showing ads to people, and then Google has this pull process where people are actually seeking for someone to do the work and we just happen to be there so that they contact us, right? And that is definitely going to have a play and effect of talking about these pros and cons here. So I wanted to kind of just give you that understanding first so you kind of understand the differences between the two. Also, something just to make a little bit more clear here is when I'm talking about Google, for the purpose of this video, we're going to talk mostly about local service ads for Google ads. There are Google text ads, and I could make a whole other video about Google text ads showing up in search. But for the context of this video, local service ads are ads that pop up that basically say Google guaranteed. And in my experience, local service ads are performing much better than Google search ads, specifically for landscaping right now. And it's a lot more controllable. And so for the purpose of this video, we're going to talk about local service ads and how you can use that to grow your business. So let's jump right into things here. So first things first, cost per lead, CPL. Which one's better, Facebook or Google? Well, let's think about it for a second. Like I said, Facebook, these people haven't necessarily asked to see our ads. So we're basically just showing ads to them based off of their interests. Whereas Google, people are searching for that keyword like tree removal or landscaper near me or lawn fertilization, and then we're popping up there, right? And so on Google, we are actually basically saying, hey, I want to spend this much per lead, especially on local service ads. So you say, hey, I want to spend $60 per lead on local service ads, and it will deliver you leads for $60. However, it's more of a bidding process on local service ads. Right? So on Facebook, we can say, oh, I want to spend this much. And based off of your marketing and what you do, you can actually get the cost lower than like anyone else. It's not just a bidding process in terms of like who's willing to pay more for that keyword. So the typical cost per lead that we see on Facebook is about $30 to $50. And that is a very consistent cost per lead that we see across North America very consistently. However, on Google local service ads, typically what you're looking at is a range of $20 to $100. So in other words, it's very inconsistent based off of your local area and the competition. It's very much based off of like your area, right? So we have some clients where they're getting leads on Google for like 30 bucks a lead, and then we have others that they're a lot more expensive than that. And so I would say generally, when it comes to cost per lead, your best bet, if you're trying to be consistent, is going to be Facebook. Simply because it's a lot more consistent and it's a lot more repeatable and reliable, in my opinion. Yes, you can get the local service ads, the cost per lead, especially if like it's seasonal and like the timing is right, you can get that lower. But generally for cost per lead, you're going to be looking at a cheaper cost per lead on Facebook. All right, so let's go to the next one. Let's talk about lead quality. Remember when I was talking to you about push versus pull marketing? Because for Google, people are being pulled into the funnel and they already did their homework and they're searching for someone to just do the work for them, automatically the quality through Google is almost always going to be better. So Google quality is almost always going to be better than Facebook. But I'm going to give a little caveat to this because this is something that I've noticed over the period of some time, is that if your content on Facebook is very good, you're educational, you have a lot of good social proof, you have a lot of just great trust and likability that you're building through your content, in time, I would say that you can get the quality of the leads through Facebook to be just as good as Google. However, it takes some time to build up that audience because they need to be indoctrinated to your ads over time. So I'm going to say that Google has this one, but I am going to put a little caveat and say that Facebook, we get the same quality leads for our clients through Facebook, but it does take a little bit more time because people need to see that. So just keep that in mind, is that the time to get the quality takes longer on Facebook. But you can hit that level of quality. But Google is just going to typically spit out like quality leads very, very quickly because they're already searching for someone to just do it, right? All right, the next one here is brand. This is a very interesting one. What I mean by brand is like, what is the capability of this platform to actually grow and build your brand recognition so that people are like, oh, I know you, like I see your company everywhere. This one, hands down, is going to be Facebook. And here's why. Is because with Facebook, we can get your brand in front of a large pool of people and be showing ads to them again and again and again, whether or not they've asked to see it. So a lot of our clients will say, hey, like, you know, I see like people at the grocery store come up to me and say like, hey, you're that guy. You know, just the other day, one of our clients said that he was at A&W ordering some food, and the guy at the front was like, hey, you're that guy. I see you on Facebook everywhere. So Facebook is extremely powerful for not a lot of budget to basically become like celebrity famous in your area. And so that has a huge upside potential. Whereas with Google LSA, you kind of can only be seen if someone is searching for what it is that you offer. So it's not like you're getting that mass brand recognition. You're kind of already only being seen when someone is seeking out your services, if that makes sense. So in terms of building brand recognition, brand awareness, Facebook has this one for sure. And it's going to definitely be like an A-player tool for building up brand recognition. All right, the next one here is we're going to talk about setup. So if we were talking about Google search ads, then Facebook would absolutely win for that one, because Google search ads, you need to set up a landing page, you need to set up the whole campaign, there's all these keywords. It's actually very complex. Whereas in this case, I would say that between local service ads and Facebook ads, they're pretty evenly matched. I would probably say though that local service ads is much easier to set up because there's less that can go wrong in that setup, and you don't have to think about any creative ads or anything. You literally just put in like the keyword you want to bid on, and you do a insurance background. So that's the only thing I would say that maybe could take a little bit of time, is doing the background check. But assuming that you have those documents, you just submit that and then you just go right through. So I would say for setup, like the easiest setup, it would probably be LSA for this one. Facebook ads, It's easy to set up a campaign. However, what's going to take you more time to spend on is like the ad creatives themselves and like the unique hooks and such. So for setup time, local service ads definitely has this one. It's a lower barrier to entry to figure out and get set up. Moving on to the last one here is scale. So scale is very important, and this is one that not a lot of people talk about when it comes to Google Ads. The problem with Google Ads is that although it's going to pull in very qualified leads, because we're doing pull marketing and we're relying on people who are searching for what it is that we offer, then at a certain point you are capped out at the amount that you can actually scale that campaign. Think about it like this. Let's say that you're spending $5,000 per month on Google Ads and you're getting leads coming in through for $100 a lead. And then you decide all of a sudden, hey, I want to scale this. I want double the amount of leads. So we're going to double our ad spend, $10,000 per month. Just because you doubled your ad spend on Google spend doesn't actually mean that you're going to be able to get double the amount of leads, because there may or may not be double the amount of people who are actually searching for what it is that you offer. So if in your local area you have capped out the amount of demand for what it is that you offer, then Google Ads is going to stall out for you. So at a certain point, you will hit a cap with Google Ads because there's literally no more people searching for what it is that you offer. So you either have to expand your search radius, or so like your location radius, right? You have to go further out your service area, or what you have to do is expand your keyword search. So you need to go broader, which can actually hurt your campaign and your overall cost per lead, right? So Google is very difficult to scale. Local service ads or Google search ads, difficult to scale once you get to a certain point. Whereas Facebook is much easier to scale because it actually has infinite scale, because we can show these ads to as many people as we want, as many times as we want without any limits, right? Because they haven't necessarily asked to actually see the ad. So we can just show the same people the same ad over and over and over again. Now, as you're scaling, that might have diminishing returns because, if you're showing an ad over and over and over again to someone who's not a buyer, then you're just wasting your money on that person, right? But you do have the capability to scale the Facebook ads at least. Whereas on Google, you don't have that capability, period. So I would say that Facebook definitely takes this one. And Facebook ads are definitely going to be an easier way for you to scale if you're looking to really start getting some big expansion going for your business. So those are some of the pros and cons that I would say here. It actually looks like it's almost a perfect, Facebook won by that one, the brand. So in this case, Facebook, is a slight winner here. But local service ads has the quality and the setup. So it says Google, but it's just Google LSA. So same thing. So what would I recommend for you then in your unique situation? Well, if you have the budget, I would recommend to do both. So anytime that we're running for a client and they're hiring us to do all their advertising for them, we set up Facebook ads and we set up local service ads. If you are in the situation where maybe you're getting started and you don't really know where to start, here's what I would do. One, start setting up Facebook ads and get started with that, because that's going to get you leads coming through at a cheaper cost per lead, and you're going to be able to get results fairly quickly. So do that first. While you're running those Facebook ads, start getting a bunch of reviews on your Google business listing. What this is going to do is start building up the social proof so that when people are seeing your ads on Facebook, they're going to Google your company and you want them to see all those great reviews. Once you set the foundation of all of those great reviews and then you're starting to scale, then you can start introducing the local service ads. So then you've got all these Facebook ads going, and then people are going to start becoming aware and reaching out, but some of them are going to want to do their homework, so they're going to go on Google, and then on Google, your local service ads will also be running with all your great reputation and such. So you're really attacking things from both angles. So that's kind of the progression that I would recommend, is start with Facebook and then slowly introduce more Google. And this is how you're going to keep your costs low in the beginning, be able to start getting some sales, and then you can really use Google to like start getting those low-hanging fruits that are a little bit more expensive cost per lead, but you're going to be able to really start scaling the campaign out from there between the two of those. So guys, I hope you found this video helpful. That's a breakdown between Facebook ads and Google LSA. If you did find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. I would also really appreciate if you subscribe to this channel so I can bring you more great videos like this. And if you're watching this video right now and you'd like us to come into your landscaping or contracting business and really help you take things to another level, link is in the description. You can book a free strategy call with myself. We're going to dive into your goals. We're going to dive into where you want to go, and I'll show you a roadmap to help you get there. All right, guys, I'll see you on my next video.